it is your turn to ask a question and have a conversation with our special guest. I'm going to ask for Ms. Bueller to start off with the first question, and then please proceed in the manner that you wish.
Hello. So this question is for both Treasurer Jones and Alderwoman Spencer. So our nonprofit organization, Welcome Neighbor STL, has worked with over 50 families who have resided in a section of St. Louis at Hodemont and Etzel, also known as the Garden Apartment Complex, or also nicknamed the Hodemont UN Zone. These clusters of apartments are filled with rats, roaches, bed bugs, broken appliances, and filthy living conditions. More than 100 complaints have been filed against the landlord through the Citizen Service Bureau. If you are elected mayor, how do you plan on addressing the exploitative nature of slumlords and working with nonprofits like Welcome Neighbor STL to hold these slumlords accountable?
Good question.
So 1473 Hodemont Apartment A is in the Alpha Gardens, and that's where I spent my childhood. Just up the street from there at 5963 Julian was my grandfather's house, which was then passed down to my mother's siblings. So that's the neighborhood I grew up in, and I saw Alpha Garden decline over the years. And recently, I visited the garden with a police chaplain, Jamal, from House of Good Care. And I make donations to House of Good Care when I have to, when I have clothes that I no longer need. And you're right, the conditions there are deplorable. And as mayor, I will make sure that that we hold landlords accountable through through the city councilor, through the problem properties unit. They have not been funded properly. And so the complaints that people send fall on deaf ears. And it's not only the garden that needs to be held accountable, all our slumlords that need to be held accountable. And we need to make sure that the housing that we offer those, again, serving the least of these, is free from mold, free from insects and rodents, that has working appliances, and that people have an ear when they call the mayor's office or any city service to make sure that we are addressing their problems. And right now, we're doing a horrible job at addressing people's problems.
Thank you. Alderwoman Spencer?
Jessica, slumlords are such an incredible issue throughout most neighborhoods in the city of St. Louis, and the neighborhoods I represent are no different. We have several. In fact, we have several I know by name. I can name more than 10. So that's why when I put together my public safety plan, the 10 steps that I've talked about to seriously start to address violence and crime in our communities, a big part of that is holding property owners accountable for the properties that we have let decay. And I didn't just wait till I was running for mayor to start working on this important issue. As an alderman, I put in place a bill that holds Paul McKee, one of the largest slumlords in the city of St. Louis, accountable for building code violations for which he had been previously exempt. My commitment goes beyond just one slumlord and will be applied unilaterally across the board. The problem landlord unit, the slumlord unit, as I'm kind of calling it, will be put in place the first year. And this will allow us additional resources in the building division to have regular building inspections of those rental units. We are allowing landlords to forego having even inspections on a regular basis by keeping utilities in their name and holding their tenants hostage through continuing to hold on unnecessarily to their deposits. And this is making a situation in which many times Tenants, especially mothers with children, are unable to get out of a very unhealthy lived experience. So when I'm elected mayor, we're going to take this very, very serious. I'm going to have an entire unit dedicated to just problem landlords, and we are going to fully fund it through the building division. Not only does this make sense from a humanitarian perspective, it makes sense from a fiscal perspective. Every dollar we put into the building division for these inspections returns $1.07 to the general fund. This is a smart investment that the city of St. Louis has failed to make for the last several decades. And under my leadership, we will absolutely rectify this on day one.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service in that way. When the city's failing, the nonprofit stepping up is so important. Thank you.